Hey guys, so I wanted to give you all a little bit of an update on my occupational therapy journey. So I have been doing occupational therapy now for 3 months, and I had my last or most recent reassessment on Friday. Today is Monday, and I just want to tell you or talk to you guys about how it went at my most recent reassessment. So, for those of you who are unaware, a reassessment is basically to check on the progress that you're making to see if you are improving, and basically it's for insurance purposes to see if it's possible for you to continue doing sessions. And I want to tell you that we have noticed a little bit of progress. I am now able to, this is my good arm, but I am now able to move a little bit of my thumb on my right side, a little bit of my index finger, and I'm able to move my wrist a tiny bit inwards, but not outwards, if that makes sense. So kind of like going like this, but not like this on the right side. So for those of you who are also unaware, if you haven't followed any of my recent videos, back in October 2024, I had multiple seizures that lasted for an extended amount of time. And at least 2 of those seizures lasted over 8 minutes, which landed me in the ICU. And I am paralyzed on the right side. I'm slowly trying to regain function, and I'm getting a little bit back, but I am nowhere close to where I want my end mark to be. I'm still a full-time wheelchair user. The only function I have in my leg is to wiggle my toes. So it is a little bit frustrating as far as that goes. But that was some of the progress we found out when we were testing my muscle function on Friday at my reassessment appointment. So basically every single month you have a reassessment appointment, and that's for any therapy at the rehab center that I go to. So whether it's occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, all of that stuff, you have to see them once a month so that you can get a reassessment to, again, like I said, figure out or make sure that you're showing some sort of improvement so that insurance can keep covering your sessions, your therapy sessions. So we did change a few of my goals. I can't remember exactly what goals we decided on, but there were a few that I met. I think what we're going to continue to work on is my stamina and endurance, because my occupational therapist did recommend that I continue occupational therapy 1 to 2 times a week for at least another 3 months. So she was going to submit that to my insurance and my primary care doctor so that he could send referrals to them to continue occupational therapy. And he kind of is the one that has to sign off to let insurance know that he agrees that it is something that is necessary for me. So basically we're waiting for that. I did schedule for another month, and based on how insurance responds, then we will see if I get approved for the other 2 months. But it is January as I'm filming this, and so far I'm scheduled out to the beginning of February. But we also practiced my standing endurance, because for those of you who are unaware, even though I am paralyzed, I can stand as long as I have support or something to hold on to help me keep my balance. So we have been practicing standing up at the side of the wall in the physical therapy gym or at the sink in the occupational therapy room. So we did a little bit of that. We talked about some of the goals. We talked about adaptive equipment, and I'm using 3 adaptive equipment tools currently. But it's kind of an ongoing conversation. So right now I use a bed rail. I use Dysum, which kind of helps to, like, if I'm eating something or using a tool or something that slides, the Dysum kind of helps it stick. It's kind of like a silicone that helps things from moving away from you. So I got introduced to that when I was in inpatient rehab, and my occupational therapist now had also kind of talked to me about it, and she gave me another little piece of it. And then I'm also using a sponge that has like a handle on it so that I can wash my back myself. And we have continued, like I said, we have continued conversations about the sorts of adaptive equipment that might be helpful for me. And eventually, honestly, the goal is to not need it. But if I do need it, it's there for me, and I will not ever be embarrassed for using tools that are helpful to me to keep me as independent as possible. Um, I also wanted to mention that, I'm trying to stay very positive throughout this whole experience, but occupational therapy and physical therapy can be very frustrating for me. Um, like I felt like when I left the inpatient rehab unit, I felt like I would have made a little bit more progress than I have made. For example, I left the inpatient rehab unit on November 1st, and it is January 13th as I'm filming this. And so I am not even starting physical therapy like until tomorrow. Tomorrow is my initial evaluation for physical therapy. So it has taken me that long from November 1st to January 14th to get my initial evaluation for physical therapy scheduled. So that's definitely frustrating because this entire time I've gone without physical therapy, and I feel like that is entirely too long to go without physical therapy treatment. So yeah, I am trying to stay, like I said, as positive as I can, but there is definitely aspects of this that are frustrating. I just wanted to kind of share with you guys the process and talk to you guys about the progress that I'm making, because they had told me when I was in the inpatient rehab unit that there's no guarantee that I will get any function back. And so any function that I was able to gain back, they told me to celebrate those wins, even if it's something as small as like wiggling my finger. And I am very thankful that I have an occupational therapist who gets super, super excited about every little thing that I'm able to do. Like, for example, there was some twitching in my arm muscles, like my forearm, when I was trying to move my wrist. And she was saying that, she was sitting there like watching it super closely, and she gets just as excited as I do, if not more. So I'm just very thankful to have her on my care team, because I think that the more people that you have on your side who are like cheering for you to succeed, the better it is in a situation like this. So, I've had to change my entire life over this, and, having to use a wheelchair from someone who has worked full time in the medical field and, is constantly used to being the person who's caring for other people. And now you have to like relinquish that to allow other people to help you and to care for you in ways that you never imagined that you would have to do is definitely very difficult for me. So I just wanted to share that little update with you guys. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I am very nervous about tomorrow because I don't know how many times a week he's going to want to see me. And by he, I mean the physical therapist. I don't know if they're going to be able to schedule time with occupational therapy, or if I'm going to have to like switch occupational therapy to one day a week and do physical therapy, whatever. Like, I'm hoping that they'll be able to schedule it close enough together. But yeah, it's just something that I am really hoping I'm able to make some progress with my leg and my foot. So yeah, I will definitely keep you guys updated with how things go tomorrow. But yeah, that is all that I have for today's video. I am going to at least continue occupational therapy through February 4th, I think is my next reassessment. And like I said, if I continue past that, it's going to depend on insurance and whether or not they approve more visits for me. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any topics you would like me to discuss further on my channel in the future, let me know, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.